So by now you guys should be pretty familiar with HTML. So we're not going to stop there because that's, well, about 15 years ago. Maybe even a little bit older. So CSS, we're going to be moving on to CSS. But before we do that, we're going to use some new software today. So we're looking at Brackets. Brackets is a text editor by Adobe. You can edit HTML, you can edit JavaScript, CSS, PHP, and probably some other languages as well. It's open source, so it can be modded. It's cross-platform, and it supports extensions, which kind of goes hand in hand with that open source part. In more simple terms, it's better. Another good point, it's free, and it's quite efficient. Won't take up much processing power at all. Very light on the computer and on the memory as well. So we're going to try it. So I'm just going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to go to, actually, you know what, I'm not even going to type in the address, I'm just going to Google it. So Adobe Brackets, and it's our first link here. This is cross-platform. You can use it on a Mac, a PC, and I believe even Linux. Actually, I know it works on Linux as well. So pretty cool. So anyways, the thing we want is to download it. Yours will go much faster than mine because I am on residential internet. So while we wait, you can see on here some of the things you can do with it. Here is basically what it looks like. You can have a white interface or a darker interface. It can work with Photoshop documents. And we'll get into some of the stuff later. We're just going to start real basic. Different things it can do, inline editors, live preview, preprocessor support. You can read more about those if you want. Popular extensions, some cool stuff that you might appreciate there. Yeah, that's most of it. New updates, so some of the different things they do, or some of the things they've added in the new updates. And they constantly talk about what they're working on and what they've released here in the blog post. You can check that out too if you want. Alright, so when we open Brackets, the sort of welcome information is actually an index.html file, which you can see here. So they talk a little bit about it, some of the things it can do, etc., etc., etc. We can actually, if we want to load it, we can do live preview. Tells you a little bit about live preview. Only works with Google Chrome, but automatically updates as you work with CSS and HTML. So here's our live preview of that page. And so now you can see sort of the opening welcome in sort of its, I don't know what to call it, in sort of its, I guess, well, I don't know if it'd be the intended way to view it, because, I mean, maybe this is the intended way to view it over here. So, live preview, as you might expect, as you work in the actual documents, it actually shows you kind of where you're working, and you can even see things change on the fly as you're working on it. There we go. Now it's working. It's just being a little slow. Yeah, there we go. See, so you can see it change as we go. We'll go ahead and close that out so it's not doing stuff in the background. If you go to View, you can look at your themes, and you can change the appearance to light or dark, whichever one you prefer. I actually find the light theme more appealing, but some people like the dark theme better. I mean, it's really up to you. You can change the font size, font family, so you can really customize. Well, not a whole lot of customization, but a little bit. Alright, so I want to kind of show you just a little bit of how it works. So we're going to start out, now that we're using modern design, we're going to try using things properly. Now you can see that I have that other one still open, so you can see it here. And I can close it if I want. Does this matter that that's not the case? Wow. If I can type. Here we go. So you should begin your documents with a declaration like this, telling it what type of file it is. As you've already seen and done quite a bit, it doesn't actually, like, you don't have to, the browser will figure it out, but it's good form to do that. So we've got a head and a body document. So title, basic page. And before I get too far, I'm going to go ahead and save it. And we'll just put it right on the desktop. Basic page. Let me go ahead and close that one out because I don't need it. No, don't save. And I want to, actually I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can actually see what I'm doing better too. So just real simple right now. Body BG color equals maybe a bluish color. So we're going to go 0033 AA. Oh, that might be too dark. Maybe we'll make this like 33, this like 66. Alright, so right now, like everything looks exactly the same. Like there's really like no big difference between what I'm doing right here and what we've done in the past. So I'm going to change my file type to HTML. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now that my file type is HTML, it was on text. So make sure that yours is on HTML, and now you can start seeing that it's going to color things. And you can even do stuff like this. Like if you have a color code in there, you can click on it, and it will show you the color that you're making. And you can even do stuff like right-clicking and quick editing. And you can even create the color that you want. Now notice that it shifted from hex to RGB. I could go back to hex if I want to, but hex doesn't support transparency, so that's why it jumped to RGB. And here's your transparency slider. So now I can really create almost any color that I want easily without having to like guess. So that's pretty cool. And I can do that with anything. I can do that with the text color. Just quick edit. Maybe make a nice like off-white, maybe there-ish. Is that going to work well with this? This might need a little bit more contrast. Quick edit this, maybe a little bit deeper. But I don't want it real strong. Let's see, what else do I want to do? We'll start with a table, and it automatically adds the in for me. It didn't do this before because I wasn't in HTML mode, I was just in text mode. So it's trying to help you out, and it will add in the other tag for you, so that way it saves you a little bit of time typing. So what do I want to put in this? We'll put an H1 tag, and we'll just put a sample. And we'll make another TR tag. Let's put a tab in the front. Actually, let's go ahead and make this a colspan equals 2. And did you see what it was doing? As I was typing, it knew what I was probably going to put. Let's go ahead and do it back from the start. So it's saying like the only things that could go in here would be like these things. Now that I've typed in a CO. So it can even like help you if you're a little forgetful. TD pretend menu item 1, menu item 2, menu item 3, and let's put all of that inside of a H3 tag. And it even guessed the rest. As soon as I pushed the slash, it knew I was going to close that out. And let's do TD, and let's grab some lorem ipsum real fast. Oh, why did I click Explorer? Yeah, generate some lorem ipsum for me. Okay, there we go. We'll copy that. We'll close that. Go back to brackets. We'll paste that in. Actually, we'll do a p tag. But it does want to close that for me, so I think I'll use br tags, because I don't feel like doing p tags the proper way. So it takes a little getting used to, jumping from text edit into this, but once you do, there is a lot of benefits. And it even creates like the spacing for me, which is pretty nice. So you can see it's doing all sorts of things to help me, which is really quite cool because it saves me a lot of time. Anything else that I want to do here? Go ahead and put that down. And we'll go ahead and see it just matches everything up nicely for me. It's using the white space and formatting it in the way that I've already been showing you guys, and it does a lot of it for you. So it's really pretty cool. Table border equals 0, and what else do I want to do? Cell padding equals 0, and cell spacing equals 0, and width equals maybe 800. Alright, so I have not done anything impressive, but I'll just show it to you anyways. So here we go. And how did I save this? What's going on with this? Save as... Oh, I forgot to call it a .html file. Basic page.html. There we go. That was why the text didn't jump to HTML formatting at the very start. So go ahead and delete that. And here we have just a quick, horrible page created in... That's really bad, isn't it? So a couple things that I should do real fast. So we'll go with v-align equals top. And actually, let's make the cell spacing like 10 and the cell padding like 10. And I want to center the whole thing. Oops. Sometimes the corrective text can be a little annoying, like it's closing out these BR tags for me, which I don't need closing because they don't need closing. But, you know, once you understand its perks, overall it can be really helpful. You just have to be aware and watch as you're programming. So there we go. So that's a bit better. Not fancy, not amazing, but you can see really fast like what you can really do with this and how this can save you time. And we're going to be using this quite a bit, and it's going to be even more important as we start using CSS, because CSS is great and brackets will help us with that.